A lot of students say that, sir, I'm good at one subject, but I'm not good at other two subjects. Every single question carries the same mark, 4 marks. And if you can get better score by solving easier and moderate level of questions from chemistry and physics, why should you devote more of your time in mathematics? Because sometimes, or a lot many times, or rather I'll say every time, easier questions are asked from the tougher chapters and tougher questions are asked from the easier chapters. So if you're saying that some chapters are tough, those chapters are tough for everyone. With less than 60 days left and you're still panicking about what to study and what not to study, here is a video in which we'll be learning the art of prioritization. So in this video, we'll be discussing 8 topics from maths, 7 topics from physics, and 12 topics from chemistry, which you should not skip at any cost. A lot of students say that, sir, I'm good at one subject, but I'm not good at other two subjects. For example, somebody says, sir, I can do chemistry very well, but with physics and maths, I struggle terribly. Here you need to understand that if one subject you are excellent at, then you should be good at other subject, and with the third subject you should or you can afford to be average, but you should be an expert of master of one of these subjects and a good or a decent command over the second subject. So 2 subjects should be your favorite and third subject can be kept an average one. Now this prioritization you can decide by yourself which 2 you want to be good at and which third one you want to keep an average one. I hope you are understanding this statement very clearly. For example, if somebody says that, sir, maths is going to be lengthy, maths is going to be difficult, so I'll be prioritizing chemistry and physics, I'll be solving more of chemistry and physics, and then I'll be coming to maths. That's perfectly fine. And ideally, this is exactly what a student should do or fall in love with. Chemistry and physics should be your priority because every single question carries the same mark, 4 marks, and if you can get better score by solving easier and moderate level of questions from chemistry and physics, why should you devote more of your time in mathematics? This is basically a secret which most of the toppers know, but we all know that this is something which is so interesting that students fall in love with maths and they get addicted to maths and they do more of it. That's exactly what you should avoid. Definitely you can practice maths, you can study maths, you should solve a lot of maths, and that's how you become an expert or master of maths. But remember, this is an example of balancing the act. So here, physics and chemistry should be your priority, and then you should be focusing on maths. Please do that. Please do that. A lot of memorization, a lot of practice is required here in chemistry and physics as well. So if I were to tell you that which 2 subjects should be your priority, it should be physics and chemistry. With that, the second learning you should remember is that a lot of chapters are difficult, a lot of chapters are tough, and you all say that yes, some of the chapters we are skipping, we are not doing them at all. Please avoid doing this. Please study all the chapters at board level at least. Because sometimes, or a lot many times, or rather I'll say every time, easier questions are asked from the tougher chapters and tougher questions are asked from the easier chapters. So if you're saying that some chapters are tough, those chapters are tough for everyone. Please remember this. So if you are at least studying them from the board levels perspective or from a decent level of perspective, then also your chances of solving questions from those tougher chapters are also high. With that, of course, now we'll be revealing or discussing which chapters from maths, physics and chemistry which chapter you must put your focus upon. If I simply begin with maths, I'll say, of course, you cannot deny or neglect the importance of functions, sequence and series. We have seen in the January attempt as well, a lot of questions are being asked. Binomial theorem, matrices determinants, vectors in 3D, differential equations, and here either definite integration or conic section. These are the chapters from where short questions are being asked, although there are some more chapters, but at least if you are asking me to prioritize the top 8 chapters or topics from maths, it would be these. Of course, it comes with a constraint or a conclusion that yes, if you are solving differential equations or definite integration, you must be aware of indefinite integration. So something like that, those clauses come into picture or consideration. That's not a problem. But remember, at least these 8 topics are to be done from maths. If I talk about physics, yes, these are the topics you should be putting your focus upon: units and dimensions, electrostatics, potential, flux and Gauss law. PYQs you should be putting your focus upon. Then from modern physics, you should do dual nature and atom and nuclei based questions. Then ray optics, then of course fluids, thermodynamics and KTG, then magnetic effects of electric current. These are the top most important chapters from physics, I would say. If now we focus upon chemistry, of course, something which you all must fall in love with, I'll say GOC, hydrocarbons, aromatic hydrocarbon reactions. From hydrocarbons, of course, you should be putting your focus upon, and from organic based units, you should be focusing more on 12th based chapters, name reactions, and of course conversion based questions from NCERT. Direct questions are there, mole concepts, atomic structure, formula based questions you should be solving from atomic structure, basically thermodynamics, then electrochemistry, chemical kinetics, chemical bonding, DNF block elements, and then you see coordination compounds and isomerism. So I'll simply say that even if you are solving these chapters or these topics from physics, chemistry and maths, your chances of scoring well or better are decently high. But remember this, everything is equally important. You got to study everything. That is something you cannot miss or avoid. With that, let's meet in the next video. Thank you so much. You have been a great audience.